Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Model A build. And I know a bunch of you probably were looking when we lifted the body. The last episode, we lifted it by the crossbar here in the front of the car. And I'm sure everybody was thinking, well, they're gonna bend that all to heck. Well, we really didn't care because it was rusted and we have a brand new piece that will replace it. So this one's much nicer shape, brand spanking new and much sturdier. So we'll replace, I think Carrie will probably replace that today also. So we're gonna get some finished stuff done. Carrie did some stuff while you guys were gone. He put a patch panel in the quarter here. He replaced this. This wasn't really done properly. He replaced that, put a new inside piece in here. We've got to do a little hammer and dollying to straighten stuff out, but it's no big deal. Then we'll have the whole back of the car, for most part, will be done. He also replaced a whole big section across the back of the body. There was quite a bit of rust in the back, and he cut that all out and replaced it. Once we get the flooring in the back, we're going to finish chopping the other door. This one's already been done. As you can see, it's been welded back together, all ground, and it's ready to go. We'll probably start taking this stuff off and start prepping it for paint. We'll probably get these blasted and stripped down good and get them in primer and do any hammer and dollying they need and get them ready to paint. Today, hopefully, we can cut the rest of the internal bracing out of the car. We're going to have to weld a brace across the windshield to hold this once we take this piece out.
But that'll only be on for
A couple minutes.
yeah, 10 minutes till I get the big piece tacked and stuff.
So, all right, let's get going. When you're actually getting ready to weld stuff, the metal should all be clean. It welds much better when it's clean. This is just going to be a real quick temporary brace to keep these in a nice straight configuration. That's just holding the uprights straight up and down.
We finally got that bracing out of the inside. So it's gonna be really nice to have room in here. So
There's a brace in the back of the car that is partially gone. So we're going to take a piece of square tubing. It's the same size. And what we're going to do, Carrie will show you, we're going to slice the back of it. This piece has a curve to it. So we'll slice the back of it so we can get a nice bend in it, get a nice curve in it, and then we'll weld it in, put the two little side pieces that have to be on it, and then he can finish the floor. So let me get this marked.
I'll show you a cool way how to bend this too. It's fairly easy. It requires a little bit more welding, but it's fairly easy to do.
Yeah,
so.
we have a bender that'll actually bend it, but for people who don't have it, there are other ways to actually do it.
So when you do this, you want to cut them so they're almost to the back, so they're all the way to this back wall. And then you can see it bends nice and easy. It'll close those gaps. This one needs cut a little more.
Why don't you cut a length about here off so we can put it in, try it, and see what we got. If you look, you can see where the brace is bad there. So just put it right next to it, Karen.
So it looks like I'm going to need to weld or cut some more
Cuts in.
cuts in there, or at least widen those some. And then I'll have to cut it up to, well, we're only cutting there. So I'll put some more cuts in it. Actually, Terrence, you want to grab the cutoff wheel? I'll just do it in here. I cut a couple more slices in it, and I actually widened these out a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm putting on another glove so I don't hurt myself anymore. So now see how much it goes now. So look at that, like a glove. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold that down and kind of tack weld some of those little some of these little slices, so that way it'll hold in place, and then I'll take this out, fully weld them, grind them, and then cut this out and put it in. Now you got to weld all these up. It's a lot more work than using a bender. I mean, we could have heated this and bent it, but I mean, honestly, for the time it would take to heat it, bend it, make the little bracket to bend it and stuff, this is half the time. Now I'm just marking this where I want to cut. I'll cut it right there. Looks about right. If this piece were actually going to be seen, I would have cleaned it up a little better and made it, you know, made this stuff all even and everything, but nobody's ever going to see this. It's under the seat, and it'll have a panel around it. We're gonna weld it in, and you'll see some rust there, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna end up blasting the inside of this, at least the sub rails, the original stuff anyways, and then I'm gonna paint it with 415 or rust bullet or one of our like rust inhibitor paints and stuff, and then we'll actually paint over it when we paint the inside of the car. So it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's nothing to really worry about or freak out about, that we're gonna weld it on over a little bit of rust. All right guys, so we got the wings welded onto it. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna throw it on here, weld it on. What we'll do is we'll put this back panel in, this back piece in, and then I'll fully weld the second panel and the third panel. Then we're done with the floor and everything. All right, so there we go. So now next video, when we get done, we'll show you this back piece in with this fully welded in and dressed and everything. And yeah, it should look awesome in here. And then we'll yank the body and start doing some fun stuff. Yeah, if you guys got any questions or anything, or want to know more about us, or have some questions about the car or how to do things, put them down in the comments. Either me or my dad will figure out how to answer them, and we'll get with you and let you know what's going on. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you follow and subscribe and stay tuned. It's getting good. We're starting to get stuff done.